Hey guys, it's Di from BeMommyWithStyle.com and welcome to today's video. So I recently attended Mom 2.0, which is a huge conference for both mom influencers, creators, media, marketers, brands. They all come together at this, and this is an annual event, but this was actually the first time that I had ever gone to this particular conference. So I wanted to kind of do a wrap-up video about that and share my thoughts as a first-timer with a community that you can tell is pretty well established. A lot of people already knew each other. This has been going on for I think it was 16 or 17 years that they have been doing this one. So I wanted to kind of share my perspective as hopping in for the first time. So first of all, it was in Orlando, which was the big reason why I finally decided to go to this one. I've heard for years kind of being a creator, you know, doing my own thing over here on YouTube and then having the blogs and having to do social media. You hear about Mom 2.0 as a creator. And so it's one of those conferences that people kind of know about and hear about, but it bounces between cities each year. So I was kind of considering it last year in Nashville, but I didn't end up going. And this year it happened to be in Orlando. So it's kind of like a win-win for me because I have to go down to Orlando about every couple of months for Moms with Mouse Ears to do content trips over there for the projects that we're working on. And so the stars just aligned. I happen to have a number of friends that were already planning on going to be in Orlando around that time. And so I just very quickly, about 2 weeks notice, decided to go to Mom 2.0, and I combined it with a content trip, and it actually worked out wonderfully. One of my Disney pals was already planning on being down there, so we did some resort hopping while we were down there. Another of my Disney pals was going to be there towards the end of my trip, so we were able to meet up and go to dinner. And then I have some friends that live down there. They were able to join us for dinner a couple times as well too. So it was just for being a trip that I planned in 2 weeks, it was such a fun trip, and this planning just fell right into place. So it was a combined trip. So I was on Disney property and I was staying over at Disney, and I was taking Ubers and Lyfts to go back and forth. So I will say, if I go to this in the future, I'll definitely try to stay at the hotel where it's hosted. You know, the first day getting over there, I was kind of dragging my feet because even though what we do is inherently social, we're here making videos to put out into the world and, you know, writing blogs that people are going to read. It still can be a little bit overwhelming, putting yourself out there and putting yourself in a room with literally hundreds of people. And at that point, I didn't know who was going to be there. So I did end up running into people that I knew, hello. And then also I was able to find pals that I knew actually from Disney, which was great as well too. So it was a really fun time, but I'm not gonna lie, it's really overwhelming, kind of being the new person and walking into a room where you feel like a lot of people already know each other. So I kind of dragged my feet going over there the first night. The first night was a kind of brands meetup, and it was windy and stormy. So that was kind of a shorter night, and then the full first day was when there was a number of speakers. Kind of the standouts for me were Brene Brown. That's how it kicked off. She was an incredible speaker, and in case you don't know the background of this conference, you know, it's very much about women's leadership, women's empowerment, and that's kind of where all the speakers kind of focused on. Even if they were talking about one particular type of segment, it all kind of led back to, you know, leading your business and getting the things done. So lots of good speakers the first day, but I was still kind of overwhelmed, I think, at the end of the first day. So I went to dinner with some of my Disney pals over at Hollywood Studios that night, and they're asking me how it was, and I'm kind of ask me tomorrow. Because I was still just kind of overwhelmed at that point. I feel like I really kind of hit my stride on the second day. I met lots of new people. Hello, if you come across this video. And I really kind of felt like I started hitting my stride on the second day, which of course is the day that it's over as well too. So I feel like I probably would have jumped in a little bit quicker had I stayed at the hotel. So that's my first piece of advice for you. But I would also say definitely take advantage of all the small group sessions, because the big overarching speakers are really cool, of course, but definitely I feel like all those little grains of kind of knowledge that's getting passed around and all those kind of business tidbits that you can take back home with you really happen in the small groups. So make sure that you pick those out for whatever you're working on in your business, and definitely go check those out. So I had a really good time. Next year's in Austin. I'm actually planning on flying to Austin and going to the event in Austin next year as well too. I really like going to conferences. I've done a number of them in the past. I've shown a lot of them on this channel. I went to Flock most recently. Unfortunately, I don't think that one's coming back. And then obviously the big brand ones, I've done those a number of times. It's always really good to be around people that do what we do, because even though what we do is inherently very social, we're always putting a lot of things out that a lot of people will see or read. It's also kind of isolating in a sense, because a lot of times people don't really understand what we do. And so when you start talking about like email funnels and like setting up that automation and, you know, what's this working for you, unless it's someone that's doing the same things that we do, it's sometimes kind of hard because they just see the front facing stuff that we do. They don't see all the background stuff that we do. And honestly, the background stuff, as I've learned over the past couple years, is really the important part. And so the past couple years, I've shifted to be more website focused, really building up my email list, and it's really become this beautiful engine of automation for my business, which has been one of my big goals. So that's been amazing. So some of the small group sessions that I went to, one was on email funnels. I got some kind of additional tidbits of information there, although I found out in that session I'm pretty far along with automations because I have a lot of automations set up. So what that means is basically if someone's interested in one particular set of information for me, because I do have multiple brands that I talk about, which was also really helpful that a lot of people there had multiple brands, so that was interesting. But, you know, I bring them into this one segment and then I funnel them into the information that's specific to the topic that they signed up for. So those automations are really powerful and really important. And also I love the website and the email side because you have more control over it. I learned that the hard way with literally this channel where I'm making this video. And the thing is when you set up your whole business on a platform that you don't own, they're in control of what they decide to send out and what gets seen the most based on their algorithms. So I definitely love having the control of the website and the email list and just being able to talk to people directly. That's really, really nice. So I'm trying to think what else. So also I went to some sessions about, you know, lead generation as far as using social media to get people onto your main sites. And also I do a lot of affiliate marketing these days. It's not any sort of secret. It's a lot of like my background engine on all the different websites that does bring in revenue. And so I went on to a couple different sessions that were about specifically affiliate marketing. So if you're in business and you're kind of looking for a community, I think it is a really nice place to start. I think that there was a lot of people there that have been in business for a really long time. I didn't feel too much like a dinosaur, but there was definitely people that had started up like during the pandemic and they've been going for a couple of years and they're looking at building out and scaling and all those sorts of things. And so there was a really good mix of people from different platforms, different focuses, different, not just creators. There's people that had, you know, like speaking businesses and products and writing books and all sorts of things. So I really enjoyed the mix of the type of people that were there, and I thought it was really super fun. Also, if you're into meeting brands, there was tons of brands there. I don't do a lot of brand partnerships. I try to keep my brand partnerships very select. I try to do 10 or less a year. So, but if you're wanting to like connect with as many brands, it was probably like 30 or 40 brands that were there as different level sponsors. So that was really cool as well too. If you have more of like a brand sponsorship focus for your platforms. And then everyone was incredibly nice. So the first night I could have gone to a first timer kind of get together. I would recommend doing that if you go on a future year. I did not end up going because I kind of drug my feet because all my Disney friends did not go to this event. So I wasn't really sure who I was going to see or if I was even going to know anyone. So I kind of drug my feet. I missed that first session. and then ended up over there for kind of the brand bazaar thing. And so definitely I'd say don't skip that first session. You know, it's kind of difficult this year with it being matched up with a Disney trip and being somewhere where I'm really comfortable and with people I know and all of those sorts of things, and kind of pulling myself away from that to go do kind of the unknown and meet new people potentially I didn't know. But I'm really glad that I did it. It was a great experience. I met tons of new people, which has been awesome. I made some new connections, and also I kind of feel inspired. I feel most of all like I got like the validation that I'm on the right track from all of the different sessions that I went to, and then also got some great little tidbits of information here and there to weave into my business, not only what I'm doing here, but over on Moms of Mouse Ears. So I wanted to kind of give you this kind of high-level overview. I didn't do like a full vlog as far as like kind of a behind the scenes. I felt like maybe kind of a wrap up after I was done would be a little bit better, but this is a little peek of what Mom 2.0 in Orlando in 2025 looked like. And I am planning on going to Austin next year in 2025, which will be interesting for me because that'll be the first time just going for just the conference, because obviously this trip I combined it with a, you know, business content trip going down to do things for Moms of Mouse Ears, and we ate at a number of restaurants and etc. So it'll be different because Austin's a city that I've never been to before, and I can explore that a little bit. And I guess it'll be more of a Be Mommy with Style focused trip because there's no Disney there. But anyhow, it was a really good time, and I'm going to be coming up with some more things this spring. I've been super busy over on Amazon doing a number of campaigns over there. So if you want to see some of my spring fashion finds, I will link some of those things down below from the blog and my Amazon storefront. We have a ton of things going on here, and I will be sharing some of that going forwards. We've also got some fun trips planned this summer. And so I think the other thing that Mom 2.0 did was it showed me that I don't have to like pick and choose, that there is a way just to kind of get things out there where you want it to be and just let it be. Like, it doesn't matter if like I went to this one brand awareness class, and you know, just kind of the different levels of the types of content you're putting out, and some of the things that you put out, you want to just be talking to a really select group of people, and that's fine. And I really kind of feel like I'm leaning more towards that these days, where I really just want to be targeting in to be talking to the people that I want to be talking to, and that's really kind of my focus right now. So it was really good from that aspect as well too. So I'll be sharing some of those spring and summer travels coming up. I hope you all are having a great spring. I know it's a really busy time, the end of school and all of that, but I am just diligently working, and if you're planning a Disney trip coming up soon, make sure you check out Moms with Mouse Ears, because we've got tons of new content going out over there, and are having a lot of fun with that as well too. So thanks for watching today, and have a great day.